Welcome back to my real estate podcast with David Liberator. I'm your host, and today we're diving into a question that I know a lot of people are asking, especially if they're looking at homes in Florida. Is Lakewood Ranch actually worth the HOA fees? David, thanks so much for being here.
Hey, thanks for having me. Yeah, this is such a great question because Lakewood Ranch is this really unique community. And I think a lot of people see those HOA fees and they immediately go, whoa, that's expensive, without really understanding what they're getting for their money.
Right, exactly. So let's break this down because I think people hear HOA fees and they just assume it's money down the drain. What are we actually talking about here in terms of what those fees cover?
So Lakewood Ranch is a master planned community, which means it's not just your typical neighborhood. You've got amenities that are actually really substantial. We're talking about championship golf courses, resort-style pools, fitness centers, clubhouses, and a ton of recreational facilities. The HOA fees are what maintain all of that infrastructure, plus they cover things like landscaping, security, common area maintenance, and road upkeep. It's actually a pretty comprehensive package.
Oh, wow. Okay, so it's not just like, here's your fee, have fun. There's actually real stuff happening. But I'm curious, how do those fees compare to other communities? Like, are we talking about premium pricing here, or is it actually competitive?
That's the key question, right? When you compare Lakewood Ranch to other master planned communities of similar size and amenity level, the fees are actually pretty reasonable. You might pay anywhere from $200 to $400 a month depending on which section of Lakewood Ranch you're in. But you're getting access to amenities that would cost you hundreds of dollars a month if you had to pay for them separately. A golf membership alone can be $300 to $500 a month, not including greens fees.
Okay, so that's actually a really good point. So if you're someone who values those amenities, you're potentially saving money. But what about the person who's like, I don't play golf, I don't really use the clubhouse. Is it still worth it for them?
That's where it gets interesting because not everyone is going to use every single amenity. But here's what I always tell people. You're buying into a community that's well-maintained and stable. Your property values are protected because the community standards are high, the roads are maintained, the landscaping is pristine, security is taken care of. Even if you're not hitting the golf course every weekend, you're benefiting from living in a property that's being actively managed and cared for. Plus, when you go to sell, that HOA reputation actually adds value to your home.
That's such a smart way to think about it. So it's not just about the amenities you're using today. It's about the long-term value of your investment. Is there anything else people should know before they commit to those HOA fees? Like, are there any surprises that pop up?
Good question. I always recommend people ask about special assessments when they're buying. Sometimes communities will have capital improvements that require additional fees beyond the regular HOA. It's rare in Lakewood Ranch because they're pretty well funded, but it's always worth asking. Also, people should know that HOA fees do increase over time, typically 3 to 5% annually, so factor that into your long-term budget. But honestly, Lakewood Ranch has been really stable with their fee increases compared to other communities.
That's really helpful context. So bottom line, is it worth it? Should someone looking at Lakewood Ranch just go for it, or should they really think about it?
I'd say it depends on your lifestyle and what you value. If you want a well-maintained community with great amenities and you plan to stay for a while, absolutely, it's worth it. The fees are reasonable for what you're getting and you're protecting your investment. But if you're really price sensitive and you don't care about amenities, there are other options out there. The key is being intentional about your decision rather than just reacting to the number on the HOA statement.
I really appreciate that honest take, David. You didn't just say, yeah, it's always worth it. You actually gave people a framework to think about it themselves. This was super helpful. Thanks so much for breaking this down for our listeners.
Thanks for having me. I love talking about this stuff because it really does matter for people's financial future. If anyone has questions about Lakewood Ranch or other communities, they know where to find me.